Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are staying safe. Hope everything's good wherever you guys are. Guys, we've had a some news about the Garcia Tank fight that apparently did 1.2 million pay-per-view buys combined, which is massive news. I guess that's DAZN and Showtime combined together. 1.2 million, or is it 1.2 million around the world? It wasn't even on pay-per-view in certain territories, so that's great news. I think it shows the magnitude of the fight. I think it was the fifth highest grossing event as well, which is incredible, which shows the magnitude of the fight. It was sad that the fight didn't really live up to expectations in terms of the actual competitive nature of it, but in terms of the spectacle, the build up, it lived up to it. You know, people were doubting how big it would be, but actually it was massive in the end. But this is why it's one of the biggest fights we wanted in the last 3 or 4 years. It was one of the biggest talked about fights. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed though. I was a bit disappointed. You know, it was a fight that a lot of people wanted to see for a very long time, and it just didn't quite live up to the hype. It just didn't live up to the hype. Disappointed. Very disappointed actually. Left dejected a little bit after it. And these type of fights that don't fight of that magnitude that don't really live up. Mayweather Pacquiao was another one. I don't think it does any good for the sport. The fact that the fight happened is great, but you want fights like this to really take off. You want fights like this to really succeed in terms of it being a good fun fight. Unfortunately, it wasn't that. It just seemed very one-sided from the as soon as Garcia got dropped. It was just a pretty one-sided, poor. You know, it looked like one guy was far superior than the other guy in there, and you know that's surprising because, like I said, I thought Garcia was a good fighter, but he just didn't turn up, or he just was outdone by Tank. I mean, I still expected more from Garcia. You know, the fact that, and people question his heart. I can understand why, because the guy got hit with one shot and he kind of went into his shell. And you expect more than that. You expect him to be more ambitious than that. Not just that you get hit with one shot and that's it. You think, that's it, I'm here to survive. You know, after that, he hardly threw any punches. And early on in the fight, it was actually Tank that was looking first before he got caught with that shot. Tank was just on the back foot. I was like, what is Tank doing here? He's not letting his hands go. Is Tank gun shy? Is he worried about Ryan's size? But as soon as he dropped him, that was it. That was the fight was over at that point. As soon as he dropped Garcia, I know people were saying if Tank hits him, Garcia will go to sleep. In the end, that wasn't the case. In the end, it was the case because as soon as he dropped him, Garcia just decided enough was enough. He didn't want it anymore. He didn't want to go in there. You know, look, people were saying Garcia quit. I still have my thoughts about that. Look, the fact that a lot of people now, even ex-fighters, have come out and said that Garcia quit. Froch, Bellew, many other fighters have come out now and said that they think Garcia quit. Disappointed. Disappointed in the fact of his performance. Not so much what happened at that point. I just think he got caught with a good shot and I don't think he could recover personally. I think he was done. I know people said, oh, he got up right away. Getting up right away doesn't mean anything. He just because you got up right away, that doesn't mean you're in a fit state. It's like I could get up right away and be dizzy. That doesn't mean I'm in a fit state to fight. You know, it's not a case where if you can't carry on, you're gonna get flatlined and smashed to bits. I mean, it's stupid. You know, it's a bit like sometimes boxing fans are crazy. I mean, if you can't carry on anymore and you're hurt, you can't fight. There's a difference between standing up and being able to fight. You've got to differentiate the difference. Just because I can stand up doesn't mean I can fight. You know, I could get punched in the face and be all over the place. I can stand up. That doesn't mean I can fight. You know, being able to. So just because Garcia stood up because there was no danger. I mean, there's no danger. When you're fighting, there's danger. When you're in pain, that doesn't mean you're able to fight. You might have not been in a position to fight. You might have been in a position to stand up. But just because you're able to stand up doesn't mean you're able to fight. There's two different things. You're comparing chalk and cheese. You're comparing a guy that, oh yeah, he got up though. If he got up, then he should have carried on. That doesn't make sense. Because standing up under no threat and fighting are two different things. I might be capable of standing up. I might not be capable of fighting at that point. You know, he was probably badly winded. Yeah, if I'm winded, I might be able to stand up. I've been winded, so I know what it feels like. Just when you're winded doesn't mean you can't do anything. Yeah, you can, but you're in discomfort and pain, and you can't really do much. You just feel like your breath has been taken away. You know, and at that point, he probably wasn't in a position where he could continue fighting. Look, some people may have continued, but everybody has a different level of threshold. You know, you can't judge everybody the same. I honestly, Garcia, like I said, I think he just couldn't continue. He was done at that point. But like I said, I was just disappointed with his performance. To be honest with you, I expected so much more from Ryan, and unfortunately, he didn't quite live up to his expectations. He didn't live up to, you know, what people had said about him, you know, over the years. And a lot of people thought he would win this fight, but unfortunately, it just was a very poor performance. To be honest, very poor performance. When I look back at it, it's not even a fight that I think people will remember in years to come. I don't think it's a fight that people will ever talk about. You know, and I don't even think it's a fight that, you know, I don't think these two will ever fight again, because it was so conclusive. And it was just a crap fight. You know, it was just a crap fight for guys that were, for a fight that was hyped up that much, for the skill level to be that, you know, the gap to be that wide. It was staggering. You know, it was staggering, because Gervonta ain't no Mayweather. You know, Gervonta is a decent fighter, but he's far from unbeatable. You know, and yeah, I didn't understand Ryan's performance, to be honest with you. I don't know what, looking back at it, I don't know how, like, it seems even worse to me now when I think about it. Yeah, staggering. I don't understand Ryan at all's performance there. But, you know, it is what it is. He got beat. You know, he was part of a huge event. And it is what it is. We move on. Leave your thoughts and see you guys in the next video. Peace.